What's going on, Horror? This is your boy Horror Gamer back with another video for you. But as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a little different. Well, this is a Ocean City video, one of the last ones we got. I wanted to take a couple moments, as you can tell by the title, to do a mid-book review, which means I'm going to take a couple minutes to talk about a certain book I'm reading right now and, you know, give you some of my thoughts about it, what I'm thinking so far of the book. You know, I'm about halfway through it right now. It's a big book, and I just want to sit down and just give you guys a little something before I do the final review on the book. But this is kind of like a mid-book review, and as you can tell by the title, we're doing Freddy versus Ash. And this is from an author named A.S. Eggleston. And it says, you know, she's an avid horror fan. She's an avid fan of horror movies and novels, both of which inspired her to make this debut novel, Freddy vs. Ash. She's currently a college student, and she lives with her family in Texas. So, as of right now, I'm about on chapter 20 of this book. I mean, there's still a few chapters to go. But yeah, I brought it to the beach. It did kind of get a little fucked up. But I might get another one for display purposes. This will be my reading one, and then I'll get another one probably later to display. That way it's not so fucked up. But I will say, as of right now, it's a good story. Like, I'm really thoroughly enjoying this book. And I'm going to give you a little layout. I'll probably do it again when I do the final review, but this takes place right after Freddy vs. Jason. And they actually, in the interlude, talk about that. Talk about how, you know, Freddy and Jason had this big monumental fight or whatever. And then Jason, they both end up killing each other. And they're both in hell. And then now Freddy is going to use the Necronomicon to come back. Well, we all know the Necronomicon. You can't have that without Ash. And Ash is Ash in this book. Like, the story is original, and it's very well, like, the story is very well written in the fact that I'm hooked. Like, I'm having trouble putting this book down. Like, it's that good. The story's fucking solid. The dialogue is fucking solid. Descriptive writing in this is fucking solid. The only problem I have with this book, and I'm just going to be honest, other than, you know, all that being solid, there's a lot of errors in this book when it comes to spelling, when it comes to grammar, and sometimes it's to the point where I have to go back and read a line more than once to kind of get it. Where, you know, it seems like she did her thing. She wrote the story, and the story's fantastic. But whoever proofread this didn't do their thing. And the fact that there are certain parts where, like there's a part where I forget the exact line, but here I'm giving you an example. She comes out and says, Ash didn't know that, you know, this, and this. Well, they spelled Ash didn't know the N-O part, okay? Or Ash screamed no, and then they spelled that no with the K-N-O. So there was little spelling errors throughout the book so far. Like I said, I'm on chapter 20, and there's a lot of spelling errors in it. And there's a few times where the dialogue, like the descriptive writing in it, doesn't make sense because they use the wrong interpretation of the words. If you know what I mean. Like, they put the wrong word in there. So it kind of fucking messes up the flow of the reading a little bit. But other than that, other than those fucking fuck-ups, the book is fantastic. Like, the story is really good. You know, Ash and Freddy together, you know, Freddy tormenting Ash, you know, Ash coming to Elm Street. Like, the whole thing makes sense, and it makes sense in a good way. The author did a good job of bringing these two franchises together to where it made sense. You know, it's not like it didn't. Not like they just threw it in there and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Ash did it. No, they built the story up. They built, you know, why is Ash in Springwood? You know, Why is Freddy connected with Ash? Why are they getting ready to go at each other? All of it's well written, but like I said, it's little things like the spelling that can fuck up a good book. Luckily, right now, the errors aren't ruining the story for me because, like I said, I'm having trouble putting the book down. And when you can do that, you know you got yourself a hella good story. But I'm just hoping that it gets better. Like, she did her thing. She did her thing with the writing of the story. The person who was supposed to proofread this shit before they put it out there to sell, they didn't do their thing. So I just hope that it's not too bad. Like, I run into something that I just can't stand. But like I said, it's just little errors right now that aren't ruining the story for me. But all in all, so far, I definitely recommend, if you can get a hold of this, definitely get a hold of this. I will be reading this again for Horror Gamer Reads in the future. It's just, it's such a big book. I mean, there are well over 400 pages in this book, and I'm only on page 177, and there's 447 pages. No, 450, 59, 60, 461 pages in this book of story. So I still got a lot to go, but like I said, I'm really enjoying this guy, so definitely check this out. For right now, on this mid-book review, if I have to give this a score, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10. But the final verdict will come here in the next few days after I'm done finishing this book. But yeah, definitely get your hands on this. Book is fantastic. I'm just warning you, there's some spelling issues and shit in it, but other than that, the book is awesome. The story is awesome. Definitely check that shit out. But alright, Horror Horde. With all that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this mid-book review as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And don't forget, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button along with that ding-a-ling-ding-ding button. That way, every time your boy Horror Gamer throws up one of these reviews, you're in the know. Also, when you're done doing that, head on over to the official Horror Gamer Patreon, where, you know, we always get together every Saturday night and just watch movies and hang out and have a good time. Then, after that's all said and done with and you do that, run on over to the Z Network and see what kind of cool stuff we got going on out there. A bunch of us creators got together to create something special for everybody. Then, after you're done doing all that, checking all that out, head on over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Google Podcasts, whether it be Apple Podcasts, whether it be Spotify, and check out our brand new podcast, Horror Haven LLC. It's your boy Horror Gamer, that's me, and your homegirl, Gabby Gore, as we get together every week and talk about something related to the horror genre. And boy, we have a good time doing it. So tune in on that. And yeah, with all that being said, Horror Horde, I took all the guesswork out of it for you and threw everything that you need to know to get to where you need to be in the description box below. So go click on them links, get in on it. And yeah, with all that being said, Horror Horde, I love you guys. Thank you guys. And until next time, this is your boy Horror Gamer saying, as always, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.